the host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily represent the views of the advertisers, management, staff, or ownership of WCTC.
Speak up and be heard on Jersey issues that matter most to you. Call Jersey Central with Bert Barron now at 732-545-9282 or toll free at 888-545-9282. Your state, your home, your voice. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey?
On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
7:09, it is hour number 2 of Jersey Central on a Friday morning on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. We're going to do our contest in this hour for your chance to win the tickets to the Happy Together show at the State Theater. We'll do that for you coming up. Mentioned in the last hour about this tuition hike at Rutgers, 2.3% for the 2015-2016 academic year. It's just money. Enjoy yourself, right? Special guest who is with us here live in the studio. Always great to have. Of course, you watch him every Saturday morning on Channel 4. You see what he's talking about, what's going on in the garden. And one of our favorite guests at WCTC. Let's welcome back Produce Pete. Pete,
hey,
good to see
morning.
you.
Good morning. How are you
Great
today?
to have
Good
you
morning.
here, as always. And
Great always to be here, believe me.
Good to have you, and joined, of course, by our one of our favorite contributors, multiple Jasper Award-winning writer. You read magazines, newspapers. She does it all. Susan Bloom back with us today.
Good morning, Bert.
You even host events now, too.
Yes,
so
that's
look at
right.
you.
That's right.
Look at you. Great to have you guys back. So Pete, it's what do we do now? It's mid-July. What do I need to do if I got something going on in the garden?
Listen, if you can't get fresh fruits and vegetables now, you'll never be able to get them.
That's
it.
For sure. That ship sailed.
I mean, even with all the rain we've had in southern Jersey and stuff, there's still plenty of stuff around. You're going to see a fluctuation in prices. Green squash has always been very, very reasonable in the stores. You'll probably see it, almost double in price. But, what goes up always comes down in the produce field. The farmers are out there and they're out there working hard. That's why I always said buy fresh, buy local. And when you buy stuff that's fresh and you buy stuff that's local, you're always going to get, a good product. And the key to everything is when you see something reasonable, you don't even have to look. And that's hard for American people to understand. They think the more you spend for something, the better it's going to be.
It's got to be better.
In produce, it's completely the opposite.
Wow.
When stuff is reasonable, 90% of the time, the quality's good and it's going to be good.
I guess that reflects that it's abundant and there's a lot to go around.
Well, that's exactly right.
Right.
That's
it makes
exactly
sense.
right. When there's a lot there, the prices are always very, very reasonable. So you get out there. I mean, we got fresh corn now. Jersey tomatoes just started. There's nothing better as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that's my whole summer meal. You know what I mean? That's Betty calls me and she says, "What do you want to make? What do you want for dinner?" And I said, "Yeah, tomato sandwich." You know what I mean?
That's all you need, right?
A sliced Jersey tomato, a little lettuce, and a sweet
beautiful.
onion. I mean, I'm finished for that. That's perfect for me.
Something about that first bite of the season at a tomato out of somebody's garden. Or a Jersey fresh tomato,
Pete, can
nothing
I ask
like
you
it, right?
to share that story? You have a great story about your dad. Like that tomato sandwich goes back to when you were growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I always remember. I'm a son of a peddler. When we were 4 and 5 years old, we went to work and we peddled stuff. Now, for some of you that's too young to know what a peddler was, we brought the supermarket to you. We knocked on your doors. We went up and down streets and sold stuff that was on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we didn't have much money. My father was an immigrant, came to this country with nothing. And so, we didn't go to a restaurant to have lunch or go to a diner to have lunch. So we ate what was on the truck. So, Pop would always stop and buy a loaf of bread, and he had oil and vinegar in the truck. And he would take, the top of a tomato, a piece of cardboard, and he'd make a sandwich for us.
Wow.
A sandwich, he used to call it. So he would make a sandwich and, tomato sandwich. And, to this day, I still can't get that taste in my mouth. I don't know if it was making it outdoors or whatever it was, but and of course the quality of the stuff was different. Nowadays we grow stuff for longevity. Years ago we grew it for taste,
right.
and that was the difference there. So I've always had that. Actually, on the show tomorrow, I'm going to be actually talking about green-faced mangoes or Kent mangoes. But next week, I'll be talking about Jersey tomatoes.
Wow,
and I always and Betty always makes something, but I always make a sandwich. In tribute to my father. A sandwich I make.
That's great. Yeah,
it's great.
Very cool. Produce Pete is here. Questions or comments for him? He's going to be with us until 8 o'clock. 732-545-9282. or 1-888-545-9282. And what we like to do is, Susan Bloom will bring in some things for Produce Pete to evaluate. And it looks like she's got some local stuff. Cherries aren't local, are they?
Well, we'll talk about some
right.
of that. I actually have a first question for you about blueberries because it seemed like they went out really quick this year.
Well, the season in Jersey was a little quicker. We still have probably another week, of Jersey blueberries.
Okay.
But you'll see in the supermarkets Northwest, blueberries. You'll see blueberries out of Michigan. You'll see blueberries out of Canada right now, and along with the Jerseys. That's what keeps the price down when different sections are in there. You'll probably see a little bump in price now, only because the Jerseys are starting to finish up. The thing with blueberries is most people, when they look at blueberries, they look at the berry and they want to make sure that it's nice and blue. Well, that's not what you want. Blue means that the berry's getting old. You want that dusty bloom that almost looks like you sprinkled it with powder, or that little whiteness on there. That's Mother Nature saying, to put in protection on it. So that's what you're going to see. You always look, when you go to buy the blues, they're always in these clear containers, or if you go to a farm stand or in an open container,
right.
You want to look for that, what we call a dusty bloom. Same thing as you would on grapes. When you see that dusty bloom, you know that's when they're fresh. Then you want to bring them home. Now, because they're reasonable this time of year, you can freeze them. So what you want to do is, I always suggest that you put them on. If you have a big enough freezer, you lay them out on a cookie sheet, put them in the freezer, and then put them back into the container after they freeze.
Okay.
Or you can actually, some people take them and freeze them just like, in the container. You have to remember, though, they're not going to be the same way when they are unfreeze. So they're good for cereal, good for pies, good for different things, but they will start to break down once they start to, the freezer part comes off of them. But sometimes when they're reasonable, you see them. I mean, they've been in the stores for $1.99, $1.59, 2 for $3, even 99 cents. I've seen them, But that 99 cents is really going to go away. So, but like I said, they're out there, they're available, and this is the time to get your fill. When they're in season, this is the time.
I always thought the bluer the better. I just learned something right now.
You want that dusty bloom. That's the most important thing.
I've taken that as my new nickname, Dusty
Bloom.
Bloom. Now,
that's what we're going to call you now.
That's when you know that they're fresh. That dusty bloom on there, you know they're fresh.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
732-545-9282, 1-888-545-9282. And we'll come back, spend some more time with Produce Pete and Dusty Bloom, who is here with us today. Jersey Central traffic and weather time, 7:16. Traffic and weather.